are coming out in a hurry. This is a very quickly organized slideshow or evening. Okay, so if someone will turn off the lights. When Larry and I were first together, I was definitely not an adventurous soul. I guess maybe I was. I ran away with a sailor. That's pretty adventuresome. He was a yacht skipper. Some other broke friends came for dinner, and they had this invitation they brought along. It was from a French colonel. The French were being kicked out of Algeria. He wanted to try to sail across the Sahara Desert before the French had to leave. They'd like to have an American team. Would we come? Larry looks at me and says, Lynn, how often do you get a chance to do something that's never, ever been done before? So one adventure led to the next. When we decided, after 8 years of voyaging, it was time to go home. And we made a list of pros and cons of going east or west. And they were both almost the same distance and would have taken about the same time. And what made us decide to go and continue eastward and go around the world was we hadn't done it before. It was a new direction. So we set off from Malta eastward. One of our first stops along that way was in Tunisia, and there we took this lovely picture, which the only problem was we were under arrest when this picture was taken. Now, adventure number 3, probably the biggest adventure in my whole life. We wanted to build a new boat. Friends said, why don't you use our cottage up in the mountains? If you're willing to fix it. And the hardest way to build a boat, first you cut some trees down, and then you build a road. You cross 3 creeks. Then you find a flat place to build the boat shed, and then you fix up a beautiful little stone cottage. Larry loved every minute of building this boat. And for the first time, I got to be a full-time real writer. The biggest adventure of that boat's life was the 55 miles on the Los Angeles freeways, especially because a car decided to have an accident right in front of the truck. The truck had to swerve and all the wedges fell out and the boat almost came off the trailer. So what was the biggest adventure of Talison's life besides the Los Angeles freeways? She's taken us on 23 years and 85,000 miles of wondrous adventures, but probably the highlight of our life as sailors, and the highlight of probably of any sailor's life. Rather than go through the Panama Canal, he said, Lynn, I've built this boat strong enough to go around Cape Horn the real way, against the prevailing winds. Let's do it. And I said, Larry, at my age, I haven't got anything to prove. And he says, at your age, you got nothing to lose. And every argument I gave him, he had that kind of answer. So I said, oh.